High Plains Technology Center, turning education and training into workplace success.
Oh, back to school, to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
High Plains Technology Center, education at the speed of business. School is now in session.
All right, here we are. Taylor Burnett sitting in talking about High Plains Technology Center on this fine Wednesday morning. Spring has sprung. 5 out of the 7 days, at least, it feels like. You know, those other 2 don't really count, but here we are. I was thinking about our guests. We got a couple of guests this week, and I was thinking, I remember back when I interviewed a long time ago, and I remember thinking I knew a lot about High Plains Technology Center, and I didn't. And I said, there's so many things that we do that people really, truly don't know or don't grasp. And we did a show 2 years ago, and people actually reached out and saying, I had no idea you guys did this. I had no idea you did that. And these 2 guests are the epitome of that a little bit as well. They wear multiple hats, do multiple things, and they do a lot of unsung things that a lot of people really don't know and recognize. I still say they're one of our hidden gems. I still say people don't understand the business and industry side. They think we're just a school a lot of times with things. It just boggles my mind. We can talk about it. We can shout it. We can scream it, but a lot of people still don't know. But these 2 guests are the same way, so I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then maybe we should do, hey, what do these people do? And you guys call in. But no, I'm just gonna let them introduce themselves, and just go ahead and say what you do. So get on there.
I'm Darla Borden, and I'm the Academic Center Coordinator.
I'm Abbie Wasson, and I'm an Academic Center instructor.
So these 2 ladies, and they call it the Academic Center, and trust me, I had no idea 16 years ago when it was, way back when, what it was going on with things, and I learned a lot. And to see, how long have you been in the Academic Center, Darla?
Ooh. That's a good question. I've been at the Tech Center for 21, going on 22 years, and I believe I've been in the Academic Center 17 of them.
Because I've been there 16, and it was you and Jen, right?
Mm-hmm. And I was up there before that. So it's been 17 or 18.
Okay. And 4, 5?
5. This is my 5th year.
All right. Yeah. I was close with that. So
we're very seasoned.
Yes, there you go. And, I still didn't know about stuff. And, especially when it came, I get to work with these 2 ladies a lot because on the business and industry side. I still even find out things, but kind of give an overbrief on what should we talk about first? Let's talk about the testing center, because you both do that, right? Let's talk about something you both do, and then I'm going to tell you kind of a little bit what Abbie specializes in, because talk about huge for helping out our school and our sending schools. It is huge, but tell a little bit about the testing center and exactly what that entails.
The testing center is open to not only our students, but our patrons in the community. We have people even outside of our community that come to test. I've had people from Colorado, Kansas, Texas, and of course, Oklahoma come and test. We give all kinds of tests. Pearson test, which would be GED, teacher test, EMT. We now can give the National Registry EMT test.
See, I didn't even know that.
It's fairly
Is that
new.
the new? Okay, neat deal.
And we do all of the career tech testing for our students for certifications from their programs. And then we also have career tech works for other entities in the state, like the Posse, the Nurse Aid Registry. So we give CNA and CMA test. We give Posse test, which is for OHP or our local sheriffs. A lot of them use that to test their new deputies that are coming on. So we do a lot of those. You want to tell some more?
People didn't even think they were, they'd test anything like that. So there you go.
Oh, yeah, we've got lots of tests. We've got CLEAT is another one, which is like your unarmed and your armed security guard. And sometime we have people that come and take the private investigator. Case management, which is with your mental health Oklahoma department. We do CDL testing and the Class D driver's license. Those are just some of the few. We do ASE, which is your local mechanics, and actually we've had several from other towns come in and take their ASE tests to stay caught up on the new trends for their cars and the things that are coming in through their door.
It's all about those certifications that you have to have.
Got to know them. And those are just a few of them.
You missed my favorite one because I haven't
Fireworks.
Yeah, licensed
yes.
pyrotechnician. I mean, come on.
We do give the fireworks
Yes. Yep.
test. Communities that have local fireworks displays, or even individuals who do their own fireworks displays, are actually supposed to have a certification for it. And yes, we do give that test.
And you guys can thank the state of Oklahoma, can thank Jim Burnett for that, but when it comes to things, but Western Enterprises teaches the class. That's where, lifelong Western Enterpriser here. But yeah, I'm licensed pyrotechnician. So yeah, you get to take that.
Very good.
And the cool thing is it's not, you said it's not only our community, not only our state. And, every tech center does this, but not every tech center offers what we offer, right?
Right.
And so how do you both kind of look and evaluate and say, hey, let's offer that, maybe let's not offer that? Because I know a little bit about it, but how do you determine that?
Well, the career tech system has a very long list of tests that we can offer basically to the public. We go through that. Most of the tests we offered are associated either with classes that we have short term. So shout out to Sheila Reason right there. If you need to get in a short term class, call and enroll. The private investigator, unarmed and armed security guard, those are some of those tests. The reason we give some of those, we don't necessarily always have a class for those, but shout out to Calvin because we do sometimes.
We go all the way as far as Guyman, since Guyman doesn't have anything out there.
But the casinos use those for their security people, and there are also event management services that use those. So we offer the tests that people in the community come and say, we need this test offered here.
There you go. And
if we don't have it, we find out if we can get it.
And that's what I love about it, because that's how, honestly, a lot of things I know have come to your attention, both your attentions. Someone called and said, hey.
I think ASE was because of someone telling you about it.
Can we do this? Can we give this? Is there a way that we don't have to drive? It's so funny when we live where we live. A lot of people think, hey, you have to go to Oklahoma City for everything. But a lot of people get tired of that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I do. I definitely get tired of that. But they say, hey, can we do this here? A place that we're comfortable, a place that we can maybe even get to study more. And you both try to get that and figure that out with things. It's kudos and hats off to you, because we don't like to say no out there.
Nope. No.
And we, because we know what it's like. That's the other thing. You put yourselves in their shoes and realize, yeah, we can do that. Now, it might not be way fast, but we'll get there eventually, right?
Yes.
Yes. And people call in, and we don't have a certain test day, and you can't just drop in. You do have to call, and it's by appointment. And since we are in classrooms as well, a lot of the time we just work you in between, at your earliest convenience. That
even
also
during the
works
summer,
for us.
right when you're not teaching.
Mm-hmm.
You both kind of take turns with that. And hey, I'm going to be gone this week. Hey, I'm going to be gone. But I mean, we don't let it slide by. Even though you guys are both 10-month employees, we get that accomplished, because it's when it comes to testing, it's the two of you.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I mean, it's all about our patrons. That's everything.
Yeah.
High Plains is a service organization. What we teach, all the skills and everything we teach, that's a service, so our students can go to work. So these certifications, these tests are so people can go to work. And to me, that's really important that we offer those services.
And Abbie, now I want to move over to you, because I think what you do is way cool as well, because it helps not only to explain, but how you help out our tech center as well as the sending students that come from our sending schools as well with things.
Yes, I teach math, which is everybody's favorite subject.
Yay!
But in the mornings, we have sending schools that travel a ways, and they're missing their Algebra 2 class, and that's a graduation requirement. And so these students, they've got to have it. So I offer that in the morning for those sending students, sending schools. And then I also visit the classrooms, or actually have the classrooms come to me for those trades and those kinds of things, where we kind of go back to the basic math skills, where we talk about fractions, because that's something that kids, students, even adults struggle with. And, if you're in construction, you got to know how to work with fractions.
You better.
You got to add, you got to subtract. So that's one of the biggest things that I work with in the
Are
classroom.
you still working with Mr. Carlson with that too? Because I mean, I think he struggles with that as well a little bit.
He has some good tips for them, so we share tips. We do, and I look for things. Like I don't just use my own knowledge. I search all over the internet for videos, for clips, and I find lots of variety of people out there that have little tips and quick things of like, here's how to subtract fractions real quick on your tape measure, or those kinds of things that can be quick and make it not such a challenge.
That's cool because I mean it is such a service that we and it helps us out. I mean, let's be honest, because it helps us get those students there that wouldn't be able to be there because they do miss that. But it also helps out our sending schools with the ability to not have one less teacher, I guess, in essence at times as well. And it is a big thing, and it's something that's so cool that people really don't know about.
Right. People ask me all the time what I do out there.
Yeah,
and I'm like, well, I teach math and a lot of other things.
So speaking of the other things, the good thing is I know a lot of the pieces that you do as well as, because when we were in high school, when I'm looking at Darla, Abbie, you're still a little bit younger than we are, but, we used to do a lot of this stuff in high school that you're doing now, correct? And tell a little bit about what you both do with some of those students and during the day as well, if it's not math.
Well, we work with them on their resumes.
Yep.
Every student is supposed to build a resume. Hopefully they're there that day or the next day or the day after that so that we can get that done. If they're going out for a job interview, we also make them fill out job applications so that they have practiced that, because there is nothing as overwhelming as walking in to ask for a job and someone handing you a 5-page job application, and you're a teenager and you don't know what goes in those boxes. So we practice that with them as well. We practice soft skills, job interviewing skills as they come to us. The WIND classes and the LPN classes, we work with them on their resumes a little more intensely. The high schoolers, a lot of times we build a resume built more for applying for scholarships. And then those courses that are going straight to a job, we definitely help them build one that's aimed towards getting a job.
And I love it because the other day, they always come in and talk to you as well as they do, as much as they do with Jack when it comes, because, here they are interviewing now, the WIN class is, and they're talking to you and asking for tips and things like that and keeping you up to date because you guys want to know as well. So Darla has a full page of notes. I want to make sure I'm hitting everything here because, Mr. Unprepared, I always like to see, is there anything we're not touching upon that you want to talk about?
Well, we offer credit recovery to our sending schools. If they have a student who has failed a course and they don't actually have time to take it while they're at their school, they can come and spend a little bit of time with us and gain that credit back.
Which is another huge thing.
It gets used quite a bit, more than most people know. I don't think very many of our students really know about it, except those that need it.
When they find out they need it, yes.
Right. Yes. They need to graduate.
And they want to stay at our place because, once again, that's something else that could take them possibly away from being at our school as well.
It's really good motivation for them to get that finished so they can spend the full time in their program. Most of the students are in a hands-on type program, and they prefer that over traditional classroom setting.
Yeah, most of me, even 52-year-olds kind of like that as well.
They get after it and they get it done. It's a real motivation for them to succeed and get that finished. Some of the other things we do, we help out with some of our schools with ICAP, which they have to graduate.
Right.
And then
there's certain areas in ICAP that they have to have that, job skill readiness stuff and work ready, and we use our Live Happens for that, for their getting that.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
We'll talk about that event later on. Right. That's the only time I feel like I have you eyes on. But yeah.
And so we can use that for some of their stuff. We use the assessments that OK Career Guide offers to kind of make sure that they're kind of placed in the right program and not just floating around in something and not, they're there and not enjoying it. So those little assessments kind of give us an idea of what they're ready for or would like. And then, of course, all the CTSOs that we are involved in.
Without a doubt, yeah.
And helping for contest, because right now we've got a ton of them that are going to Skills USA in a little bit, and we've got to get resumes uploaded and contests. Because
that is part of it.
Yes.
Everybody has to that.
Taken,
Yes.
because they've all got to take PD, professional development tests, and some of them have skills tests. So some of them have 2 tests just to get to go to state.
Well, it's so cool. We could talk and talk and talk, but we're running out of time this morning. But seriously, if there's something out there that you think that, hey, there's a certification attached, there's a test attached, give us a call, and, Nita will direct you to these 2 ladies and get you the right thing, because we want to make sure we are providing something that you don't have to go very far for, and we want to be the resource. When there's something that you need, give us a call. We might not be able to help out, but we might be able to point you in the right direction and help out in the future. So just want to say, good to have spring upon us. Good to have you both here. And, we're going to go sweat outside before we know it. So we'll talk to everybody later. Have a great week.